fucked up the live event thing, whatever. Maybe it uses a different code. I think it uses a different code. Shit. I hope that doesn't fuck over everyone that's about to watch me. I don't think it will. Did my live event get all fucked up? It didn't even start my live event. It just started the old event, whatever. I think I know how to fix it. Anyways, let's get this Billcast off and running. Okay, it says I'm live, so whatever. Billcast. Bill is live. No, it says one waiting. God damn it. This fucking piece of shit. This piece of shit. Let's see if I can figure this out. Oops, something went wrong. Dude, I don't know what's wrong with my fucking... I don't know how to work the fucking thing, whatever. What's it called? Event? Yeah, the events. I think I gotta use different streamer code or something. Figure it out later, fam. Sorry about that. The Billcast should be starting any minute now. It's Billcast. Here we go. Billcast live. Waiting for Bill. The man of the hour. It's Billcast, everyone. Get ready for the Billcast. This is not a normie cast. Alright, it's a little bit of a normie cast. Well, truth, not everyone has based knowledge of the pharaohs like us, but this is pretty based red pills right here, okay? It's the TFL show, everybody. Get ready. Everybody hold on to your seats. Billcast is about to go live. It's Billcast. TFL is that feeling when lonely. No, it stands for true forced loneliness. True forced loneliness. This is true male beta forced loneliness. Alright? True forced loneliness is when you're truly forced into it. Which nobody really is. Unless you're really ugly. And here we go. Everybody pack up a bong, pull up a beer, pull up a seat. It's Billcast, everybody. Get ready for the Billcast. Today we're nice and free to stream the Billcast. Everybody in the audience, get ready for the Billcast. Alright, where the fuck is this guy? He's 10 minutes late. Teacher, just 15 minutes late. Bill TFL NFL. That's true. Bill NFL. Bill NFL. Is this a football channel? JK. JK. Where the fuck is my Billcast? They're probably watching right now. Probably like, alright, we can't stream because we got a stream watcher going on. We got a shill. That's why there's 4 people in the chat right now. It's just fucking you and Nui, Bill and Jari. Alright, we got a shill. No, what the fuck? They're live?
But when they tell you that they didn't read it and they didn't have time and this and that, that's bullshit.
Well, even so, I could agree with Terry on that, but the thing is that we hide things from the public in the later pages of the first post. Not in the first paragraph that you pay attention to.
But I don't even think they have to now. People don't even read the first page.
Well, nowadays, I have to go with Jerry again and say, I agree totally, because I can give you a good example of how much people pay attention. You have a sheet of plywood.
Billcast is live, everybody. Billcast.
Sheets of damn lumberyard.
Fuck, they started.
You go buy yourself 2 sheets of plywood. You cut them both in half. Now you got 4 pieces of wood. Half a sheet, okay? 4 by 4. You write in big letters, pool hours open at this time, closed at this time. You put one on each side of the pool. Then you take another sheet of plywood, you cut it in half, and you put one on each side of the spa. You come out at closing time when it's been closed for hours and there's people in the pool or people in a spa. You tell them they got to get out and come back when it's open. The first thing they say to you is, well, you should post a sign. And so you go. Then they give you the look of death. I'm going to kill you, motherfucker.
No,
it's right there in their face the whole time.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's always right there in their face. But they don't, I just get really upset that, I understand the country's been trodden on and there's so much bullshit.
Illuminati today, boys?
The Bill of Rights are probably around the world some of the most freedom that people will get. Blizzy, chill. She heard somebody. But she must have heard a Mason outside. She's always ready to go eat a Mason. But, the fact that people don't even care about the Bill of Rights, or the fact that you see so many people that are supposedly educated, and they can't figure out what the fuck's going on. When you have somebody from the Stanford Research Institute, okay, that, Christine Blasey at Ford, she was a hypnotist at Stanford Research Institute. SRI, MK Ultra. Okay, literally from the MK Ultra program, and you have, Kavanaugh involved in these different fucking psyops, and then you have them doing something in front of your face, and people don't question that, and don't question that one side doesn't question the actual real issues. And it blows my mind that they just keep on going on. Oh, yeah, Trump's kills. No, they're going to get arrested. They're all going to get sent to Guantanamo. I mean, it's really, come on, people. How stupid do you have to be? How dumb do you have to be?
Q Squad, Jerry.
Oh, my God.
It must be Q Squad, Jerry.
Well, it's the same thing with Anonymous. It's really, figure it out. There's just different factions.
Oh, they're anonymous. That's why they're anonymous. And then we are change, and we know we can change things because we are change, and we have Lou Podolsky. He must be going the
and then you trace we are change. That whole thing and all that money goes right back to George Soros. But that should have been done years ago. And this is the shit. Come on. You gotta think about this shit. People never trace these people back, and they don't fucking look into this shit.
To see who they are, really. They only follow the money.
No.
They're too lazy to follow anything. I think I could lay I could lay breadcrumbs from here to there, and they wouldn't notice it. And even if I laid probably $1 bills and a path of $1 bills from Lou Podolsky to wherever you want to go. You want to take them over to freaking what's George Soros' house? We could lay a dollar bill trail right to George's door. They'll pick up all the dollars so they get to his private property sign. They won't even notice who the house is, and they'll walk away. Look what I found.
Oh no, it's funny is what Annie said. It's funny there. It's becoming from the Bill of Rights to the Bill of Lefts. And I'm not talking about right leg and left leg. It's what's left. What of the 10 amendments is left? Because they're all getting destroyed. And think about this. You have somebody that had to have been involved in 9/11 because the Patriot Act was written pre-9/11. So you have somebody that was involved in 9/11 sitting in the Supreme Court. Now, let's say a case about 9/11 actually got to the Supreme Court. What do you think the judgment's going to be? Because, you got somebody that can be implicated in 9/11 sitting on the fucking bench. What kind of chances does a case that has to do with 9/11 ever have? None. Zippo, zero. And people don't understand these implications.
True.
But because one side hates the other side, we have to go with that side, and therefore, and they design this so that you don't pay attention to the real problem, and they fuck you in the ass with a broomstick. That's what they do.
And they even made sure it was one with splinters on it.
Yeah, that shit was all splintered up, Bill. That shit was like something you'd find in a barn from the 1800s. They just don't give a fuck. They ram that shit up into people's ass every fucking day, and these people bend over for it because they're fucking.
You know what they call splinters, Jerry? They think that's ticklers.
That's a motherfucking spur, and it's ripping the shit out of your shit. And Donald Trump is sitting there with Obama, shoving it up your ass because they're all on the same fucking team, and it ain't your team.
He's Dr. Trump. He's coming to cure your problem there.
Yeah, it's like some of that eco-sex, Bill. It's like let's go fuck the wood, we'll go fuck a tree. Yeah, these people. These people are nothing but loser, perverted, low lives. I can't believe. I just say it upsets me how dumb these people are these days. How? And what's the worst part is it's such a giveaway that you have all these people online and none of them are talking about the Patriot. None. And it's like, well, duh, because you're shill. They don't want you fucking talking about this. And now, that guy that went to the White House, Lionel, whatever his name is, he's telling people that are talking about the Patriot Act that they're subversive Democrats and they're infiltrators. Are you insane? These people And nobody got people to believe that.
what few people,
Oh my God.
what few people will step up to the plate to try to talk about this.
Yeah.
They're going to use some ploy like that to flip it back around so that it's not discussed because the reality is this. They played this man who gave you your Patriot Act and shoved it way up your you know what. They put him in a position now on the bench. Now he's the judge. Okay?
Oh, I got a good one for you. Yeah.
The executioner. Okay? He's the shit, right? In reality, he is shit. Piece of shit. And there he is in a position. But what we said before, how do you get a position in the United States of America? By being a corrupt piece of shit.
You know, I deleted it. I was going to show. I had this picture of some NASA morons, but you know, I might put something else up, Bill. I think just to make it, you know, so simple. You know,
I wish the Patriot Act was a lot like the act that I saw on the sideboard in Brandy. It would be easy to expose and overthrow.
Yeah.
But that was a better act than them guys. Them guys, they weren't a very good act. Guess they were clowning around too much. That's probably why.
You know, we got this. All right.
I'm looking at the Trump freaking pyramid.
Yeah, Trump down here with them. What do you got there? You got 6, 6,
Yes,
6.
Yes, sir.
You know, people. Let me put that back up for a second, because you know people don't get this. They're all thinking he's a Presbyterian and he's a Christian, but I mean, it's really not that complicated. When you put your upside down pyramid on your mischievous dark building in the middle of you know, Manhattan, facing a church, and then you got, okay, I'm gonna do my pyramid here, I'm gonna do my pyramid here, just like Hitler, and I'm gonna do my pyramid just like the Masons and Rosicrucians. You know, the motherfucker has nothing to do with Christianity. He was taught by Kabbalists. He talks about in his book how much he treasures the Kabbalah. This is the people that do this shit to us. He is not fighting the deep state. He's no different than Obama. He's a Kabbalist. He practices the same bullshit the rest of these elite secret societies do. And he don't give a fuck about you except for the one world agenda and taking away your rights is part of it. They only need to take away one amendment at a time, because once you take the Bill of Rights away, once you take away those first 10 amendments, and those first 10 amendments are gone, it doesn't matter what the rest are. The rest of them are totally useless. They only need those. So the fourth is gone. So let a few more years pass by, and then we, you know, the first is already on the way out. And then wait a second, let's slowly get the second is also on. It's almost on its way out. They keep on getting away with these false flags. And then they already chipped away what? You know, 3 of the 10 got 7 left, or you know, they chip away, you know, the 5th, and then they only got 6, and then they chip away, you know, the 7th, and then they only got 5 left. I mean, it's crazy.
Once they get 1 through 4 gone, it's pretty much over anyway.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, once they have 1 through, yeah, Bill's right. And, you know, when it comes down to it, he is 100% right at 1 through 4. Once they get rid of 1 through 4, it's it. It doesn't matter. The rest of the other 6 really does not matter, because 1 through 4 are those, you know, those most important. Your, you know, speech, you know, your privacy, you know, that goes. You know, search and seizure. That goes. You're fucked. You're fucked. And they can do whatever the fuck.
I don't give a shit if there's 10 of them, because now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and understand if them 4 are gone, it's over with.
Yeah. Bam! And Bill nailed it. That's exactly it. And that's why it's so scary. So fucking scary. And people don't understand this. You can't just follow along with, because I feel part of something. I'm part of this mega thing. I'm a part of this Q thing. That's the same as those people that were going along with the, we are change thing, or the Obama stuff, or whatever, we're all open jail, whatever the fuck it was.
We are changed. We are changed. Oh my God! I mean, it fires me up because Lou Podolsky and We Are Changed. Then there was Cassie Dill. Lou Podolsky headed up the movement We Are Changed. Okay? And then you had Cassie Dill, and she was young female activist, speaking out, attending rallies, and fighting the New World Order and doing everything she could. And then they had that freaking psyop about little kids at lemonade stands and how different cities was finding these little kids and going after people, the little kids, because they didn't have a license to sell the Kool-Aid or the lemonade, right? And so now that shit happened, it was all over the media. So Cassie Dill goes down to Washington. First off, she winds up on Reuters. She got popular. She got known for being at the rallies. So she's sitting on Reuters on TV, national TV, sitting next to Lou Podolsky now. Cassie Dill says what she's going to do is set up a lemonade stand right across the street from the Capitol, and she was going to sell lemonade, and the reporter says to Lou Podolsky, "Are you going to be there?" He says, "You're dang right, I'm going to be there, blah, blah, blah." So that weekend came up, Cassie Dill and a crew showed up down there, they had the cameras on themselves. Lou Podolsky was nowhere to be found, but the police was there to be found, and she went to jail. And as soon as she got out of jail, suddenly Cassie Dill don't do videos no more. Suddenly, she's not speaking out publicly to anybody about anything with Playgirl ever again.
It's all bullshit. It's that's the thing. It's we've let me bring up another one. I just belched. Let me see. Let me bring up another one, Bill, because even though I don't think it's the best meme, but it's one I kind of like because it's kind of so fucking true. The whole world is just a big Freemason fuck job, and it really is. If you think about it, there, with Washington's penis. I mean, we're talking about a douchebag, George Washington, and I've talked about this before, how he's a murderer and how he genocided a whole group of black people that were living on an island in freedom. But he was actually the one that laid the foundation stone to his own fucking monument. I mean, these Masons are such egotistical bastards. They have the balls to lay their own foundation of their own. Oh, I'm going to put a monument up for me. And it's going to be the biggest penis in Washington. I mean, these people are like, come on. These Masons fucking killed JFK, and nobody did nothing. They flew some fucking, well, they didn't fly. They blew up the fucking towers. They launched a missile at the Pentagon, and they blew a big hole. They just blew a big hole in Shanksville, and people still didn't do nothing. Let's talk about the Stamp Act. Let's go back to the Stamp Act, all right? What was it, 1760? What was it, 1773? The Stamp Act, something like that? Anyway, but the Stamp Act, where they forced everybody in the Americas to put King George's stamp on everything, because they had to pay for that stamp, and then that tax went to Britain. The people were willing to go along with a revolution over a fucking stamp. Nowadays, they can blow up all the buildings they want. They can run fucking fake mass shootings and pretend that kids are dead. They can blow holes in our Pentagon, and people don't give a fuck. They don't care enough to fucking...
No. You don't care. That's the biggest issue I see across everything, because without care, it don't matter how much you get.
Yeah.
If you do not have care, your anger goes nowhere.
They're killing care.
Because it's only through care that your anger will cause you to
Girl,
want to actually physically do something. You
Hold
have
on.
heard people speak up, okay? You hear passion in my voice. I might piss you off sometimes with what I say, with what I see going on.
Should I join the
But
Masons? Will I
it's the passion
get to do my
that
grow
comes from
operation
care.
faster?
If you can get care back in society, and people started
That's what I
having
was about to do
care
all
about what's
years
going
ago.
on,
I was like, yeah.
then their anger would have
Yeah.
something behind it.
Mm.
But we don't have that anymore.
Well,
You're
no,
angry today, you're always tomorrow, and you forgot it by the next day after.
And the reason why is because they have for a long time been where is it? That's not what I wanted to fucking use. Shit, where is it? Damn it! Where the fuck is it?
I think that's just really
Oh,
loud.
where is it? You gotta be kidding! I lost it here. I was gonna show something.
There.
Good.
My bad.
Oh, I don't know where. What, Bill? Where the hell is it? I'm gonna have to jump out here and see if I can find it real quick because it was a good one. Yeah. Where is it? Let's see. Where the fuck did it go? I know I saved it somewhere. Oh, here it is. I think it is. All right. You know what? I do have it over here. Let's see. Okay.
So it's telling you might find it right after the show.
Actually, no. Yeah. Let me pull up. Let me pull up something else here too at the same time so I can bring it over.
And don't push the wrong button. Hang up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna push the wrong. But I mean, here's the thing: is this stuff is never hidden. Okay. All right. Well, actually, you know what? Let me see if I can bring up a couple things. Let me see if I can bring up a couple things because there's some interesting things I got here. Let me see. Okay, let's see if I can bring this over. Okay. And I try to make it easy as possible because people are dumb nowadays. So let's simplify it for everybody and put it in like fucking kindergarten terms.
Baby. Freedom for me.
And the reason why I'm going to get into the occult here is kind of important.
Occult. It's your favorite topic, Will.
Well, here's that. And all right, let's see this. Okay.
Aren't you a hermeticism, a hermetic person or some shit?
Aleister Crowley, which most people know as, this evil man that was involved in the OTO and literally when he was a child, he, cut and shredded cats to pieces just to test and see how fast they would die. Very evil man who did a lot of screwed up shit. Well, this is how close he is. And people always say, well, the elite, they're into all the satanic shit and they're into this black magic. People really don't know how close they mingle with this shit. For example, here. Okay, in 1924, Frank Harris took Aleister Crowley under his roof. He lived with a woman named Nellie O'Hara. Her friend was Pauline Pierce, who was married to Marvin Pierce.
Shit's probably just hella overpowering me.
McCall was McCall's magazine and Red Book, if people remember those old magazines. Crowley practiced sex magic with Pauline Pierce, okay, and Nellie O'Hara. And Crowley wrote that he initiated them into his order. Okay, 8 months later, after Pauline Pierce spent, I believe it was a month or two with him in the sex magic shit, she gave birth to a girl named Barbara. Barbara Pierce married George H.W. Bush. Okay, that's why her name is Barbara Pierce Bush. This is not a joke. They really are that connected. Okay, and people do not understand it. Now, another thing when it comes to Crowley, and why so many people don't believe NASA. And if you really look into the history of NASA, it's also connected with Crowley and all this crazy evil stuff. Okay? Jack Parsons, okay, founding JPL and Aerojet, okay, regarded among the most important figures in history of the U.S. space program.
Did we go to the moon?
Okay?
Did we go to the moon?
He was friends and spent time
Did we go to the moon, bro?
Aleister Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard, British intelligence, and the founder of Scientology. Now, you need to understand this, okay? And people don't understand this. All right, this is how crazy some of this shit gets. All right, what happened is supposedly the Tesla papers, all right, got taken to Los Alamos, okay, at the Oppenheimer Study Center, okay. Now, people that went to go view these papers were able to look at the hydrogen bomb papers, but the more secretive papers were the Tesla papers. And again, when we talk about the Tesla papers, what have we talked about in the past? That it was Donald Trump's Uncle John who stole the papers for the government in the first place. So Trump has a connection to all these crazy people and everything else. But Jack Parsons is involved with Los Alamos Laboratory. These people at the heads of NASA, okay, from the very beginning, were practicing occult black magic. Whether or not has nothing to do with anything. The fact that they were a whole bunch of guys screwing each other and then screwing people like members of the George Bush family and their sex magic ceremonies is quite fucking scary to me. All right? There's no other way to put that shit. I would never trust any government agency that was founded on sex magic, Aleister Crowley, and British intelligence, and Scientology, and the Order of the Trapezoid, and the OTO, and yeah, people are going to question NASA because they are some fucked up people. And people don't get this. They don't understand this. That at the very top level, they could put a suit and a tie on and pretend to be all formal. Hey, welcome to the corporation. We're here to, we're going to find new scientific discoveries or anything. You just work in this cube over here. Don't pay attention to anything else. You got everything's top secret, so you can't share with this person.
I got some snake oil right here for you. And this snake oil will cure all your problems.
Brainwashing. And when it comes down to it, that's what black magic is. It's look at this hand over here. Well, this hand's fucking manipulating everything else. And too many people are too busy. Just like the Kavanaugh thing. Look at the sex scandal. 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 Don't look at that patriarch. Don't look at that patriarch. Look at that sex scandal. Look at that sex scandal.
What you done here was you put a show on for the public, and you got the sex scandal. Everybody's not looking over here at the Patriot Act, right? But the sex scandal now, that's going to be a thing because
the one.
Yeah, the sex scandal.
Don't do the three finger thing because then everybody's going to say you're a part of them. So you got to do it like that.
Yeah. So the sex scandal thing, that's really going to get you because this is a double-edged sword. Because you not only did not pay attention to that, but you got caught up in the show that's going to help the divide. Stay alive and healthy.
Yeah. That people don't understand that the words are spells. That's why they spell them. They're just they're getting people under their spell so that they can get away with the dirty shit on the backside. And they're giving it to the backside real good. Your backside. And people don't understand this. That think about this. You have an agency like NASA that's steeped in this occult shit from the very beginning. Okay? Being funded with hundreds, if not trillions of dollars over the years. And people are like, oh, I believe this one or that idea or this or that. What do you think they're doing with their money? They're getting you to believe this idea or that idea or this idea. And that's what they're doing.
You're going to go right down the rabbit hole that you're not going to pay attention. Because, if anything, you should recognize the Patriot Act, the Fourth Amendment, what this guy was involved in. And you just placed him where?
Mm.
You gave him what kind of position for this kind of corruption? So, I guess if Jerry come along and took away the first now and the second, finished wiping them out, and wiped out the third, the fourth is already gone, right?
It's Maya.
Then, because it's over with, Maybe Jerry could be awarded, become the new puppet. Or maybe he'll get a Supreme Court judge position. Maybe he'll get something out of it. See, this is sick because you got to be corrupt. You got to be a piece of shit. And if you're a corrupt piece of shit, you get rewarded.
Annie asked an interesting question. And is that, any truth to the fact that Tesla wanted to build an energy wall around the United States? According to his writings, yes, he did want to build one and that it was possible. The only people that would actually know this is probably Donald Trump, since his uncle stole the fucking papers.
Yeah. And for all we know, his uncle could have copied them papers before he handed them over.
Sure he did.
You know?
You know all these dirty motherfuckers. You know they. Come on, you know they did. You know.
I just had to say it that way because I would Jerry on that. We know he did, but for all you know.
Well, think about it. I mean, we're all human. Think about it. Let's say Bill. Let's say me or you. Let's say both of us. We're at the Astor Hotel because this is where Tesla died on the 33rd floor. So we're at the Astor Hotel on the 33rd floor, and we're rifling through Tesla's shit, right? And we find his papers, the mysterious great works of Tesla. And what do you think we're gonna do? We're gonna be like, all right, you hide some of this shit. I'll be like, I'm grabbing him. Bill, I can be like, Bill, go run, hide some of this shit and copy it down. And he'll do the same thing with me. And so the bastard took that shit because. Yeah. Exactly. Back then, I'm sure the cameras were as small and neat, but that's why they went missing for some time. Because the motherfucker had to have some time to fucking copy them.
Yeah, get his copies in order and get them filed and get them registered properly, and then we'll take them and turn them over to these people who take them there. And they'll call in their guys to study them. Well, our family's over here studying them at the same time. We like them to know them.
And that's how his uncle just mysteriously gets involved with all these new revolutionary patents.
And then he will create this brand new invention. Yep, and he will be. I invented. No, you stole. You didn't invent.
You stole.
Shit.
He stole, and not only that, is he turned a lot of his inventions dirty. To use different technology that would be more harmful to people than what Tesla's true original idea was.
Well, now we have the problem of, because of all this crap, we come down to, oh no, the children are eating lead paint. Oh no, we got to get rid of the lead paint because of the poisoning that's not happening. Because now that you got the lead paint on your home, now these patented things can be used for what Jerry just said. The corruption, the weapon against us. You ain't got the protection, but I'll tell you what, you can still buy lead paint if you would like to paint your home, and you need a good 3 or 4 coats to make sure you have security. But I think you might want to rethink that at $400 a gallon.
And Andy's right about the whole wall. I mean, in theory, that's what a wall is, a wall of protection. It's protecting you from the energy that they're shooting. But going back to Tesla's wall, that was the area where he wanted to experiment with it was, through the Southwest, right where Donald Trump wants to build a wall. Because here's the theory, and Donald Trump knows this, you could build a wall without having to lay one brick. And it would be the best wall there is because there would be no way over it. And the scary part is a lot of people are talking about is these chemtrails and different things they're putting in the air where there's metals going into the air. Are they turning, our atmosphere and other countries' atmospheres into a wall where it basically contains us electromagnetically? Who the fuck knows? But it's scary that technology is something that is possible, and there have been patents to show that some of this stuff will work and has worked. So people need to really take into account what's being done. Because I thought about it the other day too. I got into the invisible wall. It really is. And here's the thing: is another thing. They can get to the point where they can once they have enough interaction with each person on the online, they can understand how a person's thinking patterns are. Once they understand those thinking patterns, they can start working within the ethos, the ether, on how to regulate those patterns or how to do different psychological hypnosis via 5G and different things that they can control that person like a goddamn fucking robot. And you think that's far away, but you've got to remember, me and Bill were just talking about before we even started the show is how much technology they hold back from us. And they do. Well, they do.
That's been known. I mean, by the time you get something that's brand new out, oh, look what's been created, it's brand new and it's all high priced. No, that's about 30 to 50 years old.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's not brand new technology.
Oh.
It's only brand new to you because it's been withheld for that many years.
Yeah.
And if you could have what they actually have in 2018, you would probably be floored and astounded. But you're not going to know what technology they have now until they want you to know it. And that's most likely not going to be anytime soon.
Oh, I'm going to put it out there because that way, if it ever comes out, I can have legal grounds to sue. Is about 15 years ago, I came up with an invention. So cell phones would not have to be charged with a cord. That you'd be able to just turn on your radio and it would automatically charge from just you having your radio on. And you'd be able to turn it even to a frequency that didn't have sound. And your cell phone would charge. So all you would have to do is have the radio on when you're in your house and your cell phone would charge. So if that invention ever comes out or anything via like that, remember that was my invention and I am going to sue whoever comes out with that invention because I declared that was my invention right here.
Okay.
They'll probably have some.
I'm not going to get into the.
They'll probably have some stipulation in it, Jerry.
I'll sue them anyway. No, it won't go anywhere. Hey, they got protections up their ass for everything. They're going to steal that shit anyways. But yeah, they're it's just crazy. Unless you're, that's what, I love like when you see like, some young kid or something come along. Oh, I got to get this new invention. Then you find out there's a whole bunch of wealthy people behind them. Listen, they're just using their front man, just like the CIA does. All these rich billionaires, they know, people like George Soros know they can't come out with, hey, this new invention here, because nobody will buy it. Everybody knows that George Soros is a douchebag. So they get like front men. They get other people to do it to be their face.
Well,
kind of like.
That's really what you have. I mean, you're not going to find any real truth on YouTube pretty much anymore.
No.
And you're not going to find any real truth on the internet without digging. And the first time you go to do a search for something that you really want to pull up, the second time you type it into a search, it's over with. They're already going to change your fucking results so that you're not going to find it. And then they're going to run and scrub it so you can't find it. So you're going to have to be
that's not for
sneaky
everybody.
about it,
That's for people that actually talk about this stuff. but for your average person, they don't really bother with too much. But when you actually talk about the stuff, you actually have to be sneaky. Like we found there's a rhythm to how you have to research things. Because if you don't research it in a certain way or an abstract way, they will fucking make it difficult for you. And people don't understand that. And there will be some people that do understand that have been involved in this stuff that actually do understand what we're talking about. Others will have no clue, and it won't even make sense to them. But trust me, if it ever happens to you, once it does, you'll understand completely what we're talking about.
I used to be able to tell people do your own homework, but nowadays it's becoming complicated to do your own homework.
It's not even complicated. You know what the problem is? I think I think you have somewhat. They're scrubbing lots of stuff, but a lot of stuff is still out there. I mean, come on. Let's take a. You want here? Let's take a look at this, Bill, and just think about it. It's just like the whole. Yeah, it is hard. It's coming less and less each day.
It is.
Let's take. Here we go. For simple thing right here. All right, we have Jack Parsons. Okay. Right. Thelmite occultists. How many times has everybody talked about how the New World Order, the UN, is into Thelma? Into this whole fucking, New Age, one world occult religion. Okay? It's right there. All right? I mean, come on, people. I mean, really an occultist. It is not a joke. And I think it even gets worse as we go along here. Well, let's see. Where is it? Right here. Right here. Involved in Marxism. Converted to Thelma. English occult. It's not like I was making this shit up. OTO.
The new religious movement.
L. Ron Hubbard. Goddess of Babylon to Earth.
I used your comment.
These are your assholes. Assholes, rather. The fucking people behind NASA are the same fucking group that we try to warn people about. And, this is why so many people out there in the truth community are like, yeah, NASA lies. Because a lot of them do understand this. They actually did. But the thing about it is, that's on his fucking Wikipedia page. You don't even have to look hard for it.
No.
Back in the day when you were looking up Jack Parsons, you didn't see all that stuff on Wikipedia. You actually had to read about it and dig for it. But the fact that they just had it right there sitting for you, and people still...
They don't know who
they don't get it.
They don't get it, so they're not going to go look because they don't know. They're unaware.
Yeah. No, we should try something, Bill. Let's try a little experiment. I haven't even looked at this, so I don't know. I could be totally wrong. All right, I could be totally. Actually, let's. Shit. All right, that didn't work. Let's try it one more time here. All right, let's try this. All right, let's try. What was his name? Was it Christine? How do you spell Christine? Hold on. Shit. C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N-E. What is it? Blazy, B-L-A. Yeah, right here we go. Okay. All right. Here we go. Professor of psychology. Research, Stanford. Research. Modeling. This is all the MK Ultra program. Okay? I didn't make this shit up. It's right there in your face. And that's what blows my mind.
That's right.
I mean, I'm involved in all these people. It's insane. Insane. Okay? Working on all the psychometrics. Okay? Trying behavior therapy. I just did a video on this, on how these people are connected to the MK. Dr. Hugh Cameron, the head of the MK Ultra program, started this. Okay? What are people going to learn? They don't even have to hide the shit.
That's the
because
shit,
you're so dumb that you don't look it up.
They already know
And
the majority of people
it's unfucking.
The majority of people out here want to be fed it.
Well, that's fucked up, Bill.
The ones that are fed it, of course, not everybody, so don't think they go wrong. But a lot of people that are fed it won't remember a freaking thing tomorrow.
That's the worst thing, Bill.
Their attention span is gone.
Totally gone. Fragmented by social media and everything else. And that's a crazy thing. And matter of fact, she's one of the person who studies this.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing. That's part of her whole fucking deal. And the worst thing is, me and Bill just did that as an experiment. I hadn't looked her Wikipedia page up. I mean, I just fucking put that name in there, and they tell you I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying about Stanford research or the psychology shit and the behavior shit, all that shit. It was right fucking there.
And where was it at, Stanford? What was it on? Behavior. And what else was it on? Modeling.
That's MK Ultra. It's fucking MK Ultra all day long these days. Social engineering.
Yeah. That's exactly what that is. It's so in your face right there.
It's so in your face. In your face. So if you're people out there, or let's say you're one of these people out there that believe NASA all the time. If you come across somebody that talks about NASA lying and all this bullshit, maybe give them a little leeway, because they might have actually looked into the history and understand the bullshit behind it.
Fuck's Uncle
Because,
Ted.
When you have the OTO, okay, Aleister Crowley, L. Ron Hubbard, behind and involved with the people, and Oppenheimer, and the people involved, and all this shit behind NASA. Okay, you have to say, wait a second, I probably shouldn't believe them right away, because these people are the dirty people. These people are the fucking freaks of the world. These people are the ones that have corrupted society. You can't trust these people.
They're the ones that gave us the majority of all the problems we have.
All of them.
I say the majority of all the problems we have because I'm talking as in a whole society. But they are the ones that shaped us and caused us to behave the way we behave, and gave us all the problems we have. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, and that's why I get so frustrated sometimes over this shit and other shit. And I'm like, if people could just back up long enough to realize, do unto one as you want done unto yourself, and take it for real. And then watch your own behavior. And that's not a gender issue, that's everybody, including me. Okay? I'm not going to discriminate. That could make a big difference for a lot of people. Because our behaviors come from what? Everything we've been our whole life.
Oh, yeah, well, people's behaviors today, okay, come from the behavioral scientists, the Christine Blasey Fords. They come from the social engineers.
Yes.
Your behaviors come from these people and how they work with the people behind social media and these other things. These people design your behaviors, and you don't even realize that.
You think it's your behavior, you're this way because it's you, when in reality, it's not, and it never has been.
No. They designed you. You're a designer, baby, whether you like to know it or not.
Right.
But once you can recognize that...
You're like a robot. You've been programmed. Okay? And the best thing I can tell you is that when people get confused, they want to hear, but it's not a gender issue. This applies to both genders, okay? And this frustrates me because it applies to both genders. And we, as a people, as a human being, regardless of gender, have to be able to recognize our own behaviors. And that's not easy. I'm not saying there's anything easy about this at all. Okay? So don't get me wrong, because I'm telling you right up, this is not easy. Because your whole life's been shaped for you. So if you can struggle and recognize your own behaviors and recognize what's wrong from what's right, that is really where this all comes from. It's not a gender issue. It applies to everybody equally. Because if you want to fix anything, you've got to first recognize you're part of the problem, I'm part of the problem, we're all part of the problem because we've been conditioned. And it's
just got to realize you've been programmed.
Yes. And you have to be able to try to push yourself to rise above that. And I don't know what word you want to use, whether it's a higher level of consciousness, whatever you choose to use, this is really where I come from. And this is where my passion and my drive come from. And people can misunderstand me so quick it ain't funny, believe me. I've had it happen for years.
Oh, it's easy to misunderstand, Bill.
And I am so used to it. I am so fucking used to it. I'm telling you.
Because it's not programmed. That's why it's hard to fucking... That's how
and that's why I get sarcastic sometimes. Or I do shit like, today I posted a video up that I don't even want you to go watch it only if you want.
That's actually a good video.
I was Peter Nolan in this video, who I've known for years. Okay.
I thought it was somebody else.
Okay, and people are like, "Who the hell's this?" And I know it probably blew Jerry away because I had mentioned it before, but it ain't been a topic of our conversation in a long time. So
no, but no, I knew who Peter Nolan is. I didn't know who the global motherfucker was, global man or whatever.
He stepped away from it. And he gave himself that name when he started doing Minto videos.
Yeah, I don't trust British guys. British people, I don't trust.
But the topic here is reality, and I always push that back on people. It's not about, okay, he's a misogynist, he's a woman hater, he's still a hateful man. I'm a woman hater, and I'm this, I'm that. No, it's not about that. It's about the fact that we've all equally been programmed into what we're doing. And I don't recognize a gender in this because both genders are equally fucked up, including myself, and we had no say-so in it because it's been your whole life. The only thing you can do is recognize your own behavior.
You have to recognize. If you can't recognize it, you're just a pussy. You're just a fucking worthless scumbag loser. I hate to say it. I'm an asshole. Listen, everybody out there, I'm a complete asshole, and I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you that right now. I'm a complete asshole, and I don't give a fuck.
But that's where it comes from, Sometimes I get pissed off, but I say things, but it comes from the fact that I actually care so much about everybody that I want to see people treating people right straight across the board. So I try to be fair on both sides, and people can misunderstand it.
My feeling on it, Bill, is treating people right is over with and done. What we have to do is be more like the elite and treat people like shit. Because it worked with, I was like, listen, if you ever listen to any of Bill Cooper's videos, he's an asshole. He treated people like shit. All right? Greatest guy in the world, and he'd probably do anything in the world for you. But to wake people up, he had to treat people like shit and literally tell them, listen, you motherfucker, quit being a stupid bitch and wake the fuck up. Get your gun loaded. Do something. Be a man. Quit crying. Get the fuck out of bed. Stand up. Quit. Turn off the TV. Get off your ass. Because what that's come down to. Because the reason why they've been able to bomb the fuck out of all these different places in our own country and people not even get as mad as they did with the Stamp Act is because they neutered a whole generation of men.
I got 5 people in here.
They turned
only Will is talking.
I know.
Got a bunch of lurkers.
I don't care. You get fired up and he goes down, damn it. But I'm telling you, this is where I come from. So, and I've always been this way, and this is why I get so fired up when it comes to the biggest divide ever. Because in reality, the biggest mind control weapon is religion and MK Ultra. Religion. Throw that in your head, okay? That's the biggest mind screw for everybody. Then the biggest divide is the genders. You can't get a bigger divide than the genders. Unfortunately, though, they have been skewing that too. Now, how many genders we have? Fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit, dude. Men can't even. Let's try and worry about the 2 we have. And I don't even know if there's 2 anymore. We have like women out there. That's it. Because there's not that many men left. And let me tell you something. Men need to start acting more. Men need to start acting more like men because some women would actually appreciate it if you step up to the plate, remind you, reminded yourself that you actually have a penis and that you want to use it. So.
This is the Billcast.
That's all screwed up.
Billcast
they
radio.
Know they want to use it, Jerry.
They don't. No, they don't.
Yes,
no, they don't. Listen,
they
if
may
you
not know how to use it. They may not know where they're going to put it. They may not know how to get it there. But they already know they want to use it.
The neutered generation. Just go down to your local mall. I don't have one in here, but a couple of years ago I've been to the mall, and you go to like one of the food court or wherever you're walking along the mall. Look at the young men. The skinny tiny jeans. Let me tell you something. I usually buy an extra size in my jeans just so my balls have a little bit of room. And I'm not bragging I got big balls or anything. I just like some air for my balls.
I don't know about all that. That was too much information for me, Jerry.
Well, I'm just being honest. But they got these fucking skinny jeans out there just fucking... How the fuck are you supposed to procreate with your balls being grabbed like that?
All
right? By some clothing. No, you gotta let those things hang. So they got some time to fucking, breathe. They need to breathe.
this nano picture you're putting on me right now, I don't want a picture. So.
Oh, I know. I'm just trying to say. I mean, but that's how blatant you have to get to tell to people these days because they haven't even figured it out. You know, you can go out there and fucking put on jeans that fucking, suck in your balls. How the fuck is that?
I'm gonna talk to
good?
I'm gonna talk to you kindergarten style because I know people.
That's how you have to do that, Bill. You have to.
Kindergarten style. I'm gonna tell you. 2 on to 1 is you want done on yourself, and that's not a gender issue.
That's natural law. That's fucking it.
And you got to really examine your own behavior, and that's not an easy pill to do.
No.
And if you can recognize right from wrong, then once you can recognize right from wrong, then if you can recognize your own behavior, you can slowly start fucking the people who programmed us by unprogramming yourself.
Well, yeah, it starts with you. Bill's right. It starts with you. But we do. We're getting to a point
where old. Listen, he's fucking old.
When you might as well throw the Fourth Amendment out the door when you have the person that destroyed the Fourth Amendment sitting in the Supreme Court. So we can throw that Fourth Amendment out the door. It's not time to sit there and wait anymore.
You know what I recognize about that court?
What?
It belongs.
Kangaroo?
No, it belongs where it belongs. Since it's maritime
it means like
law,
getting out,
getting
out alphaed, like alpha male.
Yeah, same
it's
with
not
the
in real life.
Right there.
E-mod.
That's not my problem. You should have made it close because you're the one using maritime law on land.
Yeah. Fucking drown those motherfuckers. What a fucking waste of our time.
And if you watch this before you drop it out to sea, go ahead and throw a bunch of red meat in the water. That way it's surrounded by sharks.
Wait, that's another thing. I'd love to get into the whole adrenochrome thing with especially with Betsy DeVos. She's no different
than
all
crazy shit.
Just like Hillary Clinton.
The goat worship Randy Prozac guy talks about.
At the top, they made
he literally knew all
the right side,
about Dr. Cameron and all
but they're all the same. They're all practicing the same Aleister Crowley OTA bullshit. Okay? They're all practicing that shit. Whether people want to believe it or not.
I told you I had the
when
deeps.
They tell you this is what they're practicing, like we just showed you, they tell you they're practicing that. You have to say, hey, wait a second, maybe they are practicing this crazy shit. Because if they're doing it all throughout history, if you look into these wealthy people, whether it's the Kellogg's family or all these different families, and you see how close they've been tied to the occult.
Kellogg's.
And we're talking for a long time. Franz Mesmer, all the way back through France.
Bring Gramps in on this.
We're going back a long time that they practice this shit.
Fucking Gramps.
And then if you go through
Boom pile.
With 17
what the hell are they talking about?
And the bullshit of doing evil so that they can bring about their Messiah and them practicing these occult behaviors. It literally has been pretty much forever with these elite. And what did all of a sudden we get into this 2000s and they just stopped? No. If it went on for the last 2,000 years, you could bet your ass it's still going on today. Okay? And so don't think that they're not doing this shit just because you don't like the idea, and because they put the programming in your head that this is evil, and that's only what crazy poor people do. No, this is what crazy rich people do.
Yes,
the crazy rich people do the occult shit, not the crazy poor people, the crazy rich people.
Exactly. What is that, for world press? Nobody really knows.
Billcast for the win.
No, they're going down. Me and Bill checked that. We checked that last week.
His last sentence there, he says he believes they're actually lower and going to steadily declining. Correct. Yeah. They are declining.
Because people are dying off and not. Listen, they're turning all the men gay and some of the women, so they're not having babies. Then older people, they're getting poisoned with cancer. They're dying off, and you got no babies. Think about it. When's the last time you went to a christening? I remember, when I was younger,
they're killing your semen
count every week or a wedding every other week. And you never see them anymore.
And they're killing your semen count with GMO foods and chemtrails
And
They're
tight
doing-
jeans.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to prevent pregnancies. The numbers are going down.
Yeah.
They're getting their population reduction.
Yeah.
And then
What
we
else?
help them. We continue to fucking divide. The greatest divide of all, men and women. We continuously stay divided. And that's
Yeah,
something
you know.
I would love to just overturn. Drop on our
And-
head.
And we understand this is that, food, natural. And when they talk about natural remedies for things, what we intake in our body is what can cure us and what can make us healthy.
I don't know.
And they're polluting that, and they're polluting that with these GMOs. So yeah, I mean, even if a guy is going to have a baby, the baby has a good chance of either having a problem or the sperm being so screwed up it can't figure out how to get up the tube that it doesn't happen. It's crazy.
Well,
It's
what
really.
happened? The sperm is now going like this. Oh no, I'm lost. I'm in a dark cave. I gotta get out of here. Where's the light? I'm looking for the light.
They fucked up all of society.
Three
Yeah, the population
scared.
numbers are going down.
Forgot
Japan's
me.
losing over 1 million per year. And that was like last year that number was. And the number was going up at that time. So, yeah, listen, the genocide has already begun.
Yeah.
Just because we aren't seeing it as much in our face, it's not being impacted because it's a slow thing. And they understand that.
It's not like
Yeah.
they panic you with tear gas. Every time election time comes up, we're going to throw Planet X in your face. It's going to crash into the earth. Then we're going to throw FEMA camps and the government's coming for you and blah, 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 blah.
I actually like this. Somebody did this. And I thought it was actually genius. Let me see if I still have it. I thought it was funny. Let me see. Where is it? I still have it. Yeah. Here we go, Bill.
There you are, exactly.
Our phones told us to show up.
Our
And you
phones
wanna know
told
what?
us to come here.
That's all it would take. That's all it would take is a tweet or a little one of those presidential alerts on your phone. Show up at this Walmart, and you want to know how many millions of people would actually show up? There would literally be millions of people.
We'll go.
Would,
The
oh my
Johnny
God!
will go.
Good, let them
You
go.
know, and it really got you going because all these years, you got these guys that went around and filmed
Yeah.
all of these plastic liners. Thousands and thousands of them. They said, look, they're
I'm
coffins, and they went in
fucking
there and they
have
took
my
the plastic
backpack
liner and
ready.
flipped it over. And they said,
Go
look, you can fit
backpacking.
2 or 3 or 4 bodies in here. And I started laughing
People are
because
so dumb,
they don't
guys.
understand.
Will
The
truth.
reason there's a big stock
You're
of
just
these
over here
unruly
throwing
folks
insults,
is because
right?
every day in
You just
America
want to
somebody
start
dies.
shit.
And you have
You think you're
cemeteries
smart
where they
just because
put
you know a little bit of cult
concrete
shit.
steel bought
We're
in the
breaking it
ground,
down
keep
here
the
on the
coffin from
Billcast,
being washed
alright?
away.
And that's the
After you put
deeps,
the
right? And you
concrete
can't
on
argue
the
with
ground,
that.
They take that
Because you're just going to
plastic
end up looking like a little bitch.
liner and put it down, and the coffin fits inside.
Now, what do you got to
it.
say about that, Will?
Well, I know I looked into this, Bill, and one of the real reason why they had all those plastic liners and stuff is around that time, and this is something Obama did, is the oil industry wanted to push for grants for these people to use that did plastic injection molding and stuff like that to be able to. They got grants to actually produce more products because that way they could boost in certain areas with actually the economy by putting more people to work and all this. So it wasn't just those plastic liners that they overproduced for no reason. So they actually produced them for no reason, but they overproduced plastic injected molded kayaks and other plastic things that literally are now being warehoused in different places
But they're not
for
going to
no
show you
reason.
that. The
They're not going to
reason
tell you that. They
the reason
scare
they-
you with the end result. Yeah.
They focused in on these plastic liners that go in the concrete ball in the ground
Yeah.
because they wanted you to believe that was a plastic coffin for FEMA camps.
Yeah.
To scare the bejesus out of you. And most people
It's too
didn't even know
far.
what they was. And I'm just
Yeah.
in here.
And here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Just like just like in World War II. even though the numbers aren't what we are told. But let me tell you something. They're not going to put people in plastic liners and containers, okay?
No.
They're going to cremate the fuck out of people because that's the best way to do it. And people don't understand this about the whole Kabbalist thing and the Holocaust. A Holocaust is a burnt offering, okay? That's all it is. So ritualistically, they need to burn bodies if they were going to do it. It's a whole ritual thing. They wouldn't put them in plastic containers. They would burn the fuck out of people. And people don't understand that.
I'm going to give you a little, I want to say this on a joke because this is funny. Okay?
Mm.
This is from a true Christian believer.
Yeah. Who, you?
No. A true Christian believer named Jerry. Oh, never mind. It ain't named Jerry.
Yeah, man.
Okay, but anyhow, this person here was such a believer in Christian, his religion, that he knows that the first time we had the Great Flood, before the Noah's Ark went out and saved the animals, and we had the Great Flood. Well, this time it's not happening that way, he tells me. It's going to be fire, and everybody's going to burn. But he's not worried about burning himself because he's been saved. And because he's been saved, even when the earth's on fire, he will not burn, not one hair of his heart will burn. So I said I wanted to go on a camp out with him, and I wanted to go to a big bonfire, and I figured if nothing else, he could stand in the middle of it because that's raw. He ain't going to be hurt because he's been saved, right? He got pissed off at me for saying that, but what can I do?
That's one of my little parlor tricks. I've told Bill about this before. Is back in the days, the college days and stuff like that. Because I have artificial legs, and a lot of times if I was at a party or something, people wouldn't know. And so I would just walk through the fire. I mean, literally, if the fire was really low enough and I knew it wouldn't burn, like really, if I walked quick enough or whatever, if it wouldn't burn my pants or whatever, I'd just step right through the fire. I'd just walk through it. And people would freak out. People would freak out. But, listen, you step in the fire, you're going to get burned. And people don't understand that. Even when, they tell the Joan of Arc story, the Jacques de Molay story. What are those stories all about? Burning, the sacrifice. When it comes to Masons, there's always, the stake is like the obelisk, okay? It's all ritualistic. It's the death, the Holocaust, the offering, the sacrifice. Jesus sacrificed himself. He made a blood offering, to save everybody from their sins. And it's the same shit with these Masons. The story's the same, and it's been going on forever. And I wanted to talk about that tonight too, and I almost forgot about it. Was these characters throughout our history? We've had these weird characters like what you call it, Lafayette. We had like Lafayette, and then we had Saint Germain, and these weird characters that always come in to fix things at certain points in time, and they always are Masons, and they're always, like this guy that kind of fixes the chaos when they come in. And I keep on wondering if they have somebody prepared to be their Mr. Fix-It when, chaos is ensuing again, because chaos is ensuing again. If you look at today's events, chaos is going on. And I want to know who their Mr. Fix-It is going to be. Because, I can't see anybody out there being a Lafayette type. I mean, who would fit the bill as Lafayette or, one of these other characters? I don't see one. So it would be interesting to see, who they plan to be Mr. Fix-It when they have gotten things to the point they can't handle it anymore. Because there will be a point. Listen, the world balances things out, and they are so chaotic now that they know they need some control to, slow things back down again, So I'd like to know who's going to be Mr. Fix-It. And, I don't know who they have. Who would fit that bill these days, Bill? I can't see anybody out there that has the reputation of it be Mr. Fix-It.
I really don't know. I mean, I couldn't even answer who's going to be the Fix-It person.
Well, I mean, it probably would be a Mason too, but I can't even think of a Mason or some guy out there that would be like a Mr. Fix-It that people would trust. Because the whole thing about their Mr. Fix-It, it has to be both sides trust the guy.
It's going to have to be somebody that's popular.
Yeah.
I would think, So I guess you want to look for somebody who's really popular amongst the people.
Both sides.
on both
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
And that's, and then start sort of looking, because that's about the only guess I can give.
Yeah, but I don't got nobody. I can't think of anybody who's popular on both sides. I have nobody. I wonder if anybody else, maybe anybody in the comments has an idea if there's a person out there that's actually popular on both sides. Because I can't foresee anybody right now in front of that I can think of that's popular on both sides. They usually have somebody that's popular on both sides, and right now I don't know of any.
Well, maybe it won't be a Mr. Fix-It. Maybe it'll be a Mrs.
Fix-It. Nowadays, it's got to be a Mrs. Fix-It this time. She's, listen, what it comes down to, these Masons are really racist and really, male-oriented, whether people like it or not.
It's not going to be a black person. We know that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. According to Bible prophecy, there will be two black people that will come forward and be prophets. And we know how these people like to go along with the Revelations, the book of Revelations, like it's a script.
That part's true.
So that would be interesting. It wouldn't surprise me because that would fit Revelations. That there would be two black prophets.
We know that the Masons overall, in general, are racist bigots. Okay? And they absolutely hate black people because they're disgusting pieces of shit themselves.
Yeah.
I don't recognize your skin because I recognize you as a human. I don't care where you're from, what color your skin is. You're a human. That's what I see. Okay? I'm not going to see he's a Muslim, he's a Jew, or he's a Mexican, Spanish person. I'm not going to see that because this is how you can further the divide. I am going to recognize if they're a piece of scum by their behavior, their actions, or who they're with, who they're associated with. I mean, if they're a Mason, I already know, unless they're lower end Mason completely asleep and think they're doing good. If they're any kind of Mason at all, with any kind of degree, then
lower end Mason.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Somebody brought it up. Yeah. We were talking about the fucking Masons. The Masons in their first degree. The Masons in the first degree. Let's talk about their fucking shit.
First degree.
Yeah.
I knew some dumb Masons.
We got goat fuckers right here. He'll ride around a fucking goat. Riding the goat.
Dumb Masons at my old job.
I don't ever trust a group of people that ride the goat. Fucking goat riders. Okay.
Having fun.
Baphomet. Okay. It's Baphomet. They're riding the goat. I mean, look at their upside down triangle. Just like who? All right. I want to come back to that. All right. The first degree. Around the fucking butt, little. Come on, you motherfucking goat fuckers. Listen, let's put this back together. Okay? Let's put this back together because it's so fucking simple, people. And why can't figure out how
they're definitely the people I took care of. If you're living at fucking Aegis Homes, you're a fucking low end Mason. Even if you're a 32 degree,
you got
33 doesn't matter. The high up ones are gonna be fucking rich as fuck.
We got the upside down triangle.
Thank you.
Masons.
Thank you.
Okay. We got the upside down triangle.
Pharaoh.
We got the upside down triangle. Okay. The upside down OTO. Just like Jack Parsons. Just like Jack Parsons. Just like Jack Parsons. Just like Jack Parsons. Yeah, that's fucking real, man. And the people are like, oh, down, I'm a Christian. I'm going to be a good Christian too. Are you fucking retarded? You're retarded. If you think that shit, you're a fucking tard. And listen, I don't want to insult any people that have Down syndrome, because they're smarter than the people that actually believe Donald Trump is a Christian. They're way smarter than that, so I don't want to insult them. Because, you have to be pretty much, almost convalescing in a state of mush in your brain if you actually think this man's a Christian when he talks about the Kabbalah. Builds a $666 million building with pyramids, 6 pyramids on each side, building a 666 pyramid, upside down pyramid, just like the Masons pyramid, just like the OTO pyramid, just like the Jack Parsons shit, just like the Aleister Crowley shit, just like the Thelma shit. And you're
narrow protected.
It could be. We don't know. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be.
I
We don't know.
suspect it might be. It seems like when you find the people who are really the most awake or aware of what's going on around them, it
They're
seems
smokers.
they all have something in common. They're smokers.
Yeah. So who knows? Jumping Jack Flash. Yeah. What's crazy, Bill, is like years ago, before I was awake, and I'm talking a long time ago, I thought Whoopi Goldberg was cool. And then you wake up and you see the shit that comes out of her mouth on TV. She's a fucking nut job. Well, fucking nut job. And she was in that movie, Jumpin' Jack Flash, back in the fucking, the 80s or whatever.
Whoopi Goldberg,
I think it was.
You gotta look at her like any other actor. They didn't accidentally become famous.
No.
They were chose.
So, listen, there's nobody in Hollywood that does not belong to one of the secret societies. Scientology is big in Hollywood, And remember, we talked about L. Ron Hubbard being, a good friend of Aleister Crowley's and Jack Parsons and being in the OTO with them. He's the motherfucker that founded Scientology. Guess who's high up in Scientology? Who donates shitloads of money to Scientology? Betsy DeVos and her family. Hundreds of millions of dollars invested in Scientology. Now, before Donald Trump got elected, it came out how Donald Trump College was based off of Scientology. Donald Trump is also involved with Scientology. So it goes back. Donald Trump is a part of these upside down triangle fucking OTO freaking crazy people, and people don't get this. All right? Obama was the same thing. OTO, he was and the Order of Jesters, the Masons, which is just like the fucking OTO.
Obama,
just another
same
shit, same shit.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
You all fell for it.
Yeah.
It's like his election when he first got into office reminded you of Adolf Hitler, Nazi Germany.
Oh yeah. Well, you ever listen to him when he's
running on the streets, jumping up and down? Everybody was so happy that they had the blanket pulled over their head again. I don't know why they were so happy to have the blanket pulled over their head. But I couldn't get it through people's heads then. Even in the job I was on at the time, the head of housekeeping, she was so happy, Cheryl. So proud that Obama and hoped he would win the election. She passed away before he became president, but she was all for him, wanted him, knew he was going to give us change.
Yeah, and you know what? And whatever comes next, they're going to promise you some ridiculous claims, that are never going to come true, and people are going to fall for it again. So sometimes that's the tough part of like the things that me and Bill talk about, is we understand that no matter how much we scream, there are going to be a few people that might actually listen, but the majority of people out there are going to fall for this trick again. Whatever trick these politicians put out there, because like we've shown you, they're all involved in this Masonic OTO, fucking Jack Parsons, Scientology bullshit, Kabbalah bastards. And the majority of people are going to fall for it. Literally, they can have a picture of the next person that they want president. Literally can have a video of him being the spawn of Satan, have a video of Satan like spitting out this baby. And this baby they put in front of people's faces and say how great he is. Everybody will believe how great he is because that's what they're being told to think. Because people think what they're told to think. Period.
They do.
Mm.
They go along with the social conditioning so well.
They do.
That's one of the reasons it's so important to try to recognize right from wrong. to try to watch your own self, and to try to change that programming, and to do on the ones you want done on yourself. I don't know what else to tell people because it's got to start on an individual basis, and it's got to go across the board. And it can never be a gender issue. It has to be everybody because all of us are victim to it. And only through that could we ever effectively make a change.
The only way to make a change is fucking somebody you have to, listen, we need fucking people, I know there's some good people out there that are with the feds and with the military, but we need somebody out there to sacrifice for the people, to get out there and actually do something to make a major change. Somebody needs to draw large attention to the corruption that's going on and whatever means that is possible. And yeah, something bad might happen to you, but you need to make a sacrifice out there. Because listen, if you joined the feds or the military, you already sold your soul. So why not try and redeem yourself by making the world a better place, by getting yourself out there and doing something, even if it's evil, to make a big attention grabber so that maybe we, the people, have a chance for a better future. And, I really hope there's somebody else out there like that, but I don't really have too much expectation of it.
I wouldn't count on it. You had your protest up at Sandy Hook, and you see what the outcome of that was. So I wouldn't hold my breath about anything, but I would tell you a good place to start is with yourself. Because we're at a point now where it's almost endgame.
No, yeah. I mean, the Fourth Amendment's gone. What's next?
It's almost endgame. And once the first four amendments are gone, it's over.
No, he's not.
And they're not far from getting there. They really ain't.
No, because once they get some momentum,
why not keep on moving? Fun here.
That's the thing. It's just it's like when there's a war going on. There's a division going up the hill. If that division's got momentum going on, what are they going to do? They're going to make sure that division is supplied well and keeps on moving. They're going to keep it. Once they got momentum, they're going to keep on. They're going to abuse that momentum and get as far as they can until somebody stops them. So they're going to take a leap right now that they were able to pull this shit off.
Start with yourself,
and that's scary. My guess is, I was expecting a big false flag that's, now in October. But now that they made such a leap forward, I think they may regroup and then maybe do one a little bit later in November. I'm not sure. They may have the balls to still do it this October. And, that will really tell us where they're at. But let's see how much momentum they think they have, because let me tell you something. They got a lot of momentum when they just put the person that fucked the Fourth Amendment in the Supreme Court.
They sure did, right in your face.
Right in your face. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable.
I think that was your October surprise, Jerry.
Yeah, that might have been the October surprise, was the fact that they fucked this whole country over and threw out the constitutional Fourth Amendment right before our faces. That may have been it. But I think also that these people are very military oriented. They understand they got some momentum going, and they're going to abuse that momentum one way or another. And how they're going to do it, I don't know. But it scares the shit out of me, because if they feel they have enough momentum, they may do something large enough that it gives them an excuse to take away another amendment.
They're going to eventually do something again anyhow, because they're not going to stop.
Oh, they're not going to stop.
They're not stopping.
Why would they?
They have no reason to stop. Most people are all bent over and don't care. I mean, Yeah. And it don't matter how mad people get, because they don't have care behind it. Because you gotta have to have care behind your mad, you're angry, before you're gonna care enough to get up off your asses to do anything.
Yeah.
And and right now most people are hooked up in football, their beer, going to work and coming home, hooked up in everything, their tool. They gotta have their tool, and that's a hard one there, because that is a really hard one.
It's a strap. It's a strap.
Yes. And I don't know how to tell you to defeat the need for the tool because that
The
is a very
tool.
hard.
The tool,
Plant
the
a
tool,
fucking
the
garden.
tool.
Yeah.
But that's a scary thing, Bill. Is the age we're entering. You know, if we had a lot of people's grandparents, my grandparents are gone now, but I mean, I think a lot of people, if their grandparents truly understood, or their great grandparents understood that the Fourth Amendment was gone and that people don't have the right to privacy anymore in their own home, because that's what it is. You no longer have the constitutional right to privacy in your home anymore. That's what that means when you destroy the Fourth Amendment.
It does.
And if they understood that, they would probably be pretty sad that they worked so hard and built homes and built a life for their children, just to see that they lose it with a little tiny simple psyop. Little tiny simple psyop, and they lose that tool. They would probably be pretty distraught, you know. But what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. You know.
It's gone on
That's
for so
why
long.
we need somebody on the inside to make a major change. You know, get some balls. You know.
For whatever reason it is, you all think you need to have one of these. It's a
What are you
tool.
doing? Don't show people you got $100 bill. They'll come to your house.
It's a tool, you know. I don't care. It's a tool. It's the tool. It's the tool everybody's fighting for.
Yeah.
It's what we're all fighting for. It's what keeps us strapped down.
Yeah, it's a strap. It's a strap. It holds people down. You know, they understand it. You know, that's the interesting thing, is that they also know they can't hurt people too much, because that'll also put them in jeopardy. You know, they understand these things. They understand they have to feed the people just enough, because if they don't, and then people need to understand that too. Listen, the elite understand they can't screw people that hard, because if they do, then you push the people too far and they're going to fight back. Okay, you know, everybody says they want a revolution. They want to start a civil war. No, listen, they do all these psyops. It's the CIA technique of putting the shit out there so it never happens. Okay, they do all these psyops so that it doesn't happen. Okay, and people need to understand that. In theory, a true revolution, a true civil war without Masonic involvement would be awesome and wonderful, but it won't happen.
No.
Because they got too much control with the Masons. Listen, until people understand that for a real civil war and real revolution and for a positive change to happen, for it to get going, the first stop would be going to your local police department and wiping out the whole police department. Then going to your federal buildings, wiping out every freaking person working in the feds, and going to your courts and wiping out every judge and lawyer. That's what would be needed first, because those are all the Masons. Those are all your Masons. You have to get rid of them. You'd have to go to burn down every Masonic lodge across this country. That's what would have to happen for positive revolution, for the people to truly move towards freedom.
That's a cool movie. What movie
But
is he
that will
talking
never
about?
happen, because these Masons got you fucking brainwashed.
That's a cool movie.
Oh yeah, we're doing some charity work
That's
over
a
there.
movie.
We're not raping babies.
That's just a movie.
Okay? You
Yeah.
know, that's what they got you believing, so you won't ever do nothing. But yet they're the same people that have started every single war the world has ever had.
Dude, I love the movie he's talking about right now.
So
Don't you guys
there's
love this
liable for
movie?
murders in the numbers that are
Oh, I love that.
astonishing,
That's my
but
favorite
most
part.
people can't figure that out.
And it's
Okay.
okay for
I
Masons
didn't
to
figure
have
that part.
secrecy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The irony is they tell you right in your face
Yeah.
the secrecy.
Right.
And everybody accepts, well, so what if they have secrets? Well, what are the secrets to everything Jerry just told you?
This is They always say they're making good men better, but this is their whole thing. And they have to take an obligation and an oath to this.
Good, everyone.
You must conceal all the crimes of your brother Masons, including murder. And should you be summoned as a witness against a brother Mason, be always sure to shield him It may be perjury to do this. It is true, but you are meeting your obligations. That's what they preach. That they even have to cover up murder for one another. Think about that. It's insane. It's
Corruption
insane.
is right there
Yeah,
in
man.
your
It's like the
face.
mafia.
They need to go. They
It's like
need
the
to go.
coolest mafia film
This
ever.
world will never, ever be
It's
free
like when he
as
tells
long
him he's
as
a
there
shoe shiner.
is a Masonic
He's
lodge.
gonna shine
As long as
shoes.
there are an organization like the OTO or the Rosicrucians,
Guys are talking
any
about
of
a
those secret
movie.
societies, as long as they exist on this earth, there will never be a truly free people on this planet. And people need to understand this completely.
You will be enslaved to somebody else, and you will continue to think you own your house because you paid it off and they gave you a deed. And as I said in another video, you indeed have had the blanket pulled over your head. You will never own that property unless your name's a Rothschild or Rockefeller, because you can't own that property because you pay taxes on it every year, even if you paid the taxes on purchase. And you pay taxes to somebody that never had nothing to do with the purchase, never had nothing to do with the building of it,
Yeah, he
never
does.
had nothing to do with the land, never had nothing to do with nothing. So I don't know why you're not paying taxes for Jerry's car or my car. You should come down every year and give us money for the taxes on our vehicles or for the taxes on your vehicle that we don't own, that we'll just say we own. Because they say they own what you bought, you worked 30 years and paid off. They say they own it, and you allow them to say they own it because you pay them money every year saying, yeah, I agree, you own my property. That's really what you're doing. It's an acknowledgement of all. Yeah, I understand you own my property and I'll never own it. I just have a fancy deed. Indeed, I've been fooled. That's really what it comes down to. So I think we should probably get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, people quit being fucking stupid. Take the time, whoever it is that they put in front of your face, check it out. Don't just fucking go along with one side or the other side. Fucking use your brain and read for literally 10 seconds.
Look, take the time to look into, and try to get care back and try to recognize right from wrong. And see if you can't recognize your own wrongs and correct your own self to stop the programming. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
But we'll try to be back next Sunday. I don't think there'll be any surprise guests, so we should be. I don't think there'll be any surprise guests for next Sunday, so we should be here.
Yeah. We got Elvis is gonna be here.
Oh, that's right. Elvis might show up. That's right.
Why not?
Yeah.
People believe anything these days, anyways.
Okay, later, guys.
Oh, the great Billcast. It was a wonderful Billcast, everybody. Had a great time at the Billcast. And now, what we're going to do is there.
That you decode your name with this exact cipher, and those authors will say things like, look, if you take this code and you apply it to your name and your loved ones' names and your parents' names, it'll open the door for a lot of things that are really mind-blowing. And I once read that, knowing very little about this code, and my mind was blown right away. I typed in my full name. Well, you know what? When I say I typed in my full name, I didn't. I actually wrote it all out by hand. Just the way I used to do the research.
Gematrinator.com.
But now I can type it in. Zachary Key Hubbard equals 89. My dad's full name is Timothy Stephen Hubbard.
Shit.
89. You know, they say like father, like son. And right away when I looked at that, I said, my mother's birthday is September 8th, a date written 8/9, like the majority of places in the world. And the day that I made this discovery, I remembered how my dad saved the newspaper clipping about how the day I was born on was the coldest day ever recorded on Earth. And if you go to Google and type in, what's the coldest day
Adrian was talking about how, you're a soldier, you can have a family, but you're first and foremost, you're devoted to the quest. And that's what Lancelot was. And Lancelot, if you notice, he did not have a family. Not only did he not have a
and when I looked at it, I just thought,
he was separate from the other knights. He was the envy of all the other knights. He was the epitome of
the numerologist who studied this long before we did live. They said if you learn this story, if you look at it, very interesting things will be revealed.
Yes, you were the embodiment of what is all that is best in men.
And that blew my mind
being
because
involved, it's kind of like how not everybody is called to marry and have children.
Young women named
that's what
Katie had always been attracted to me really after me.
Lancelot's downfall, his quote-unquote fall from grace, was when he slept with Guinevere.
And lo and behold, my name
that's when he lost his way.
Is 19 letters.
This reminds me why we brought up the second function.
The time I was born at is true is 7:19 p.m.
Both
The military time is 1919.
Different versions of the second function.
You know,
so the one character has
what
a
else
wife
is a
and
trip
home.
is if you write out
He's been
Timothy
waiting 5 freaking years.
If his middle name is 67, which is the 19th
and she
prime.
accepts his authority.
If you write out July
She's the second
21st,
function
the
woman.
day I was born.
It takes a hell of a lot to be a military wife.
Equals 67, which is
Yeah,
the
she's not like
19
woman
prime number,
where these
born in
military wives
1919,
goes
given a
and
19-letter
fucks the
name.
first guy at the bar.
How can these things,
That's
you
their
know,
function.
Well, actually, she did.
push aside and say, oh, this cipher is completely
Hey,
wrong.
don't.
And the thing is, if you listen to Marty, he says that by learning this code, it opens up
Whereas
spiritual
the other guy,
enlightenment.
the
So it's really weird that Marty would say that all these other ciphers are completely irrelevant.
Ernie
Not
is the other one, the
important.
second function, where he's
It's just the secondary cipher. It's the only
but
one that can help you further your understanding of the story. And what he's saying completely goes against what people who came before him wrote.
Knight,
From Faith Giovanni
a
to
knight
Stanley P. Hall to
within
many
this
other
concept of the
numerologists who
second
introduced this
function
topic.
would be free to
And
have
something else
relations with
interesting,
women. You just
you know,
couldn't
these
have
other
an
ciphers,
attachment
like the
that
reverse
conflicted
alphabetical
in any
rules
way or
terminology.
competed
My
in
mom's
any
name,
way
John Howard,
with
was also
his
67,
marriage to his
the
oath,
19th prime.
his
You know?
marriage to the quest.
So
Because that's what he's
again,
married
this
to.
cipher is more
I
clear.
think you might
but
recall that I brought this up on another
are we saying
podcast,
that
or I
these
might
other
have brought it
ciphers
up from
completely
her, I don't
irrelevant?
recall. That
To
marriage
me,
and offspring
you
exist
can
for
come to
all
these
three
conclusions
functions.
by
They just express
researching
themselves
and
differently. And in the
experimenting
case
and
of the
paying
second
attention to
function, marriage
documenting.
is between the
It
hero and the
doesn't
quest,
seem
and the offspring of that are
completely
the
irrelevant
heroic
to me at all,
deeds.
and from the many other
And
people who've done
you
this
see that
research.
exemplified in the
You know,
Grail quest of the
they definitely
Arthurian
don't feel that
romance,
way.
which is actually fulfilled not by Lancelot,
So,
because Lancelot falls from
Here's
grace.
what I
It
want to talk
is
about another
fulfilled by
thing
his
that Marty
bastard
Lee
son,
brought up
Lady
at
Elaine.
the
That's Galahad.
end
Galahad
of
comes in as
this
this almost
conversation with
Christ-like
Andrew.
figure
He pointed out
that,
that
that
Hebrew,
fulfills the Grail quest, and as soon as he does so,
going to
he
English
dies.
to Hebrew,
His
I
life
was the
is
translator
accomplished.
here. He pointed out that in
Old-time
Hebrew,
Hebrew
Kabbalah
comics
sums to 137. This is something I've taught about many
It used to be a
times,
policy that
and something that I wrote about in my book.
if you were under the age
And
of 25, you needed a
look,
sergeant's
this is the
permission.
Hebrew value of Kabbalah. On Derek's calculator,
Makes
which is
sense.
a brilliant tool, which
And,
I
you
don't know
know,
what,
when you
again,
start
why
getting
Marty would
into
say
first
Ian was
function
an idiot
people
who
in
uses it.
Rome, a Vestal Virgin,
On this
she
calculator,
was
you
released
can
from
pull
her
out four of the
obligation,
most common
typically
forms
in
of
her late
Hebrew
30s or early
gematria. There's
40s.
several ciphers
She
in
could
Hebrew.
marry at that
There's
time,
not just
but
one,
she spent
there's
her
several.
childbearing years devoted to
And
her goddess.
again, why Marty
Think
leaves
of
is it
the-
making sense,
Like,
calling
if you
himself
had
the
a good
authority on the
drama
subject,
about
and claiming
British
just
royal
one cipher.
families,
This code traces back to Hebrew, which has
the
several
husband
ciphers.
and wife, the
Derek's
king and
taken
queen,
four
are going to
of the most
recognize
popular.
the innate strategic
Now
nature
these are the
of their
numerical
marriage.
values of
They, as
Hebrew.
a, yes, they get
in
to On the one hand, they've got a
Hebrew
little bit
gematria.
more permissiveness
The
than the first
137,
function would
which
have. Like, the third
what
function,
you
you
spoke
get
about,
married,
is
you
correct.
stay fucking
This
married.
is the most
Alright?
important cipher in
But
Hebrew
the first
gematria. It's
function is a bit more
137.
permissiveness. Yeah, you can
I
have
just
a
want you to see
mistress,
that in
but
English, with
only
the
if
alphabetic
it
order,
doesn't embarrass your wife.
the word
And it's not
Kabbalah
about your wife's
is
emotions.
38.
She's above
And I
that.
want you to look at the
It's
Hebrew
about
ordinal,
not taking the
same as
fool
the
out of
English
her
ordinal,
and
just
disrupting
Hebrew,
your
taking
kingdom.
the alphabetic order.
Right. Well, with
38,
greater responsibility
38, 30.
comes greater rights.
You know, what are the
Yeah,
odds?
that's
Let's
that's
look
how it
at
goes.
Israel.
The second function can get married, and they often
Can we
do.
draw a
Like most
picture?
people wind up pairing
What's
up the second
Israel
function.
using
But the
Hebrew
second function,
gematria?
they get
Yours
married,
is 64
but
with the
they
alphabetic order.
recognize there's going to
64.
be massive
What
sacrifices
is Israel
in
with
the
the
marriage.
English
That
alphabetic
they're
order?
getting married
64.
prime. The third
And
function gets married.
let's go right on down the line.
Second
There's a lot
function,
of
they get married,
overlap with
produce the
English
best
and
damn children
Hebrew.
they can, and
So
support
Marty is
the
saying that the
support the
alphabetic
offspring,
order cipher
right? And they
is
both
not a
sacrifice
real
like hell for
cipher.
it.
It's a made-up
The
cipher
first
that I'm
function,
pushing. And he
you don't
says
get to
that
be
I'm
happy.
doing this to
You
discredit
might
this
occasionally
study.
be happy, but your responsibility is to the kingdom and to the people.
Well, there's a perfect example of that in the film Excalibur. You've all seen it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where Guinevere is accused, and she has at this point she hasn't violated. You know, she hasn't committed adultery against her king, but she's
The
accused.
accusation, yeah, is
She's
damning enough.
accused, and the king Arthur cannot be her champion.
The
And-
love of Caesar must be beyond reproach.
Right.
And, well,
I
and
don't
she
care
says
if you're getting. I don't care if you're getting some on the side of the stable boy. You can't get caught though.
right. But what I was going to say is,
Sure.
Arthur, he says he couldn't be